Yeah, so hi guys, I'm back. It's time to do another sharpening video. So I've been getting a lot of comments about my setups. Apparently people don't like that I'm working out in the sink, and I kind of get it, but it's what I have available for the moment. So I've been looking around for a good, plastic, bucket or box or something. So I'm probably going to be doing something about that in a week or so. Where I live, we kind of almost have to order in anything because we don't have a good, selection of stuff in the town I live in. So yeah, I've ordered a few plastic buckets, and we'll see if we can make a good stone pond from those. So yeah, for what it's worth, I'm working on it, and yeah, we get our water from the mountains just behind the house here, and for what it's worth, it's 150 meters from here to the ocean, and everything goes straight to the ocean. There's no water treatment plants or stuff like that. But yeah, so that's out of the way. Morihei, finally, I got a hold of a few Morihei Stones. These guys, I've been looking forward to testing them out for quite a long time now. A lot of people have been asking about the 9000 grit one. I haven't been able to get that. My supplier didn't have them in stock, and I'm trying to get a hold of Morihei directly. Apparently they do a lot of stuff besides stones as well. They make knives, and they have a lot of natural stones, and yeah, so I'm working on it. As for these stones, the Morihei Stones, they have apparently been working for quite a while to try to make a stone that is man-made, it's predictable, and mimics the properties of natural stones. As for natural stones, there is always that small element of surprise when you buy them. You never know exactly what you're gonna get. So they've been trying to create a stone that has the properties of natural stones, but is predictable. You know what you're gonna get, and you're gonna get the same thing every time. So what they do, they blend, and please arrest me if I'm wrong, but what they do is they blend natural crushed rock with synthetic abrasive powder and stuff like that. And apparently they have come up with a sort of a solution, and that's these stones here. So I've never tried them before. This is the first time this stone gets wet. And yeah, as usual, I like to flip the stones around, so I like to preserve the engraving or the stamps and stuff. So I just work on the back. They placed the logo back here as well, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So they are supposed to be splash and go. We are starting with the 5000 grit, and yeah. Oh, sorry about that. So today I'm going from the 500 grit, we're going up to the 1000 grit, the 6000 and the 12,000 for last. I wouldn't go that far normally, and I wouldn't use that many stones normally either, but I just really want to give it a go, and I wanted to try them all, so please bear with me. I'll try to leave the timestamps down in the description if you want to see a particular stone. And if you want to see all of them, just tag along. That's great as well. So yeah, my knife, it's the good old Kiritsuka Bunka from Musashi. It's just a knife I've been sharpening a lot lately. I'll get some other knives going as well, but for now this will do. This is Aogami number 2, or blue number 2 carbon steel, and it's just in general a great knife. So yeah, 500 grit, here we go. So immediately we get a good burr. Because of the color of the rock, it's hard to see if it's loading up or not. But I'll do another pass. Feels, you know, not too hard, but definitely on the harder end. It's very responsive. I like the feedback of it. You really know where you're working. Just need a little bit on the back here. I tend to miss the heel, so just want to spend a little bit of time getting that right. While we're on the 500 grit stone. And yeah, steel is starting to come off. So it feels slower than it is, if that makes sense. You can see here on the heel now how the bevel is growing, and it does so without the stone feeling rough. So yeah, that is good. We'll start to work a little bit on the other side as well. This is always a good test to see if it bites into the stone and you ruin the edge. Can be easy to do so on softer stones if you don't pay attention. I'm spending some extra time on the heel here as well. But that is actually it for this one. Yeah, I'll do another pass as I did on the other side. At this stage I'm not counting at all, I'm just inspecting. And we got a good burr on that side as well. So yeah, I'll go for the 5, 6, 7. Oh, scheisse. Oh, we're good. I went a little too fast there, but we managed to save it. And we got a burr. And I'll do the other side. So I like to flip. I like to use my right hand on the handle and just flip the knife. And because I'm talking, I have forgotten to count. We'll do 10-ish. We have moved the burr, so we'll do just a couple. 3, 4. I think I'll do a couple more. It should be good. So what I'm noticing is that it's not creating as large of a burr as I'm used to. That could be a good thing. And I'm just doing a few alternating strokes. And just because I want to. I want to see how fine I can get on this 500 grit stone. We are going on the 1000 grit stone afterwards, so I'm just trying to get off as much of the burr as I can. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this stone. I just want to see, I have my cleaning stone here as well. It doesn't seem to have loaded up anything at all, actually, which is a good thing, obviously. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that stone to dry off a little bit. And get some paper towel. Drying off the knife. I just want to check the bevel. So I got a good bite. You would expect that on a 500 Whetstone anyway, but let's see how it cuts. That's pretty nice for a 500 Whetstone. I'm pretty satisfied with that. That I could use for cooking as it is, so if you're happy with that, you could go with the 500 Whetstone and just go for it. But we have the 1000 Whetstone here as well. It's a bit lighter color. It soaks in just a little bit of water. You can see that here. This bit got wet before the rest of it. You can draw on it. Yeah, let's go. So here it's easier to see the steel coming off, just because the stone is lighter. It has a little more aggressive feedback right off the bat. It's pretty decent already. I'll do one more pass. And that's good. Oh, sorry. Got that. I'll do one more pass. This time without bumping the camera, I hope. Got a good burr. So I'll do what I did before. Go with a few full length strokes. Just check if I'm where I want to be. That should be right. I'll do the other way, other side now. I like the feedback on this one as well. Yeah, and let's do a few just alternating strokes now. So I don't know if you want to see a cut test after each stone, but for my own curiosity's sake, I think I'm going to do so. I just want to see, and if you're looking to buy a stone, it could be helpful to see what kind of edge you can expect to get of each stone. But if you don't want to see it, I'll have the timestamps down in the description, so you can skip past this bit if you want. But as I did before, I want to pinch off the burr. Just careful. We are almost there. Oh, like so. I'm bumping the camera again. So when I get the new the plastic, I don't know what to call it, boxes, when I make my stone pond, I'm going to be moving the whole thing to another place, so it's going to be a little more spacious. So now, just to clean off the stone here, I just want to see how the 90 watt cleaning stone gets the job done. There was some steel left in the stone. That seemed to have sorted it quite nicely. So yeah, then that's going to be drying off. And we will do another cut test. So this is off the 1000 grit stone, no stropping. I think I did the worst job of, no wait, there, that's pretty good. There are some spots which still have a burr on it, but you can sort that out with a leather strop if you have. So not as lucky with that one, but still a great edge though. It's just that we got a similar edge of the 500 grit stone. If you do a few, I did some refurbishing on this this old leather strap yesterday. So let's see if that did a trick. Yeah. So that's quite nice. And yeah, so now off to the polishing stones. So this here, this is the 6000 grit one. So now we're into polishing territory. So immediately this stone feels a little bit harder. Probably could use with some flattening. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can really clearly see the marks from the saw that they used to cut the stone. But I don't think that will affect the sharpening session too much. We'll see. This stone seems to be loading up a little bit more, but you get a pretty nice almost mirror polish of it. To see a little bit clearer, I would call that a mirror polish. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but yeah, it's quite neat. So now we'll do the other side. So this stone feels softer than the 1000 grit stone. It loads up a little bit, but it doesn't feel like it's slowing down by any means, so don't worry too much about that. We'll see how it cleans up in a little bit. Like so, and I just like to go the full length here as well, just to make sure. Still a little burr on there. I want to try a few edge leading strokes here as well. Like so. And let's give it a cut test. So now we're getting quite a nice edge straight off the stone. This is better than the last one, definitely. Check to see the bite. I was a bit polished. Lost a little bit of the bite that we had on the 500 and 1000 grit, but it's definitely sharper. Like so. So I'll try the other cleaning stone now, Suhiro one, and it's sorry about that. So it cleans it up quite nicely. It seems a little bit aggressive for this kind of work. I'll do so. Before I go to the last stone, I'm just gonna go talk a little bit to my kid. I'll cut it off here and I'll be back in just a little bit. Yeah, so I'm back. Sorry about that. I think we're okay now. Yeah. Where were we? It looks like the vitrified cleaning stone. I think it's a bit aggressive for the 6000 grit. Apparently, it is a little bit softer. I'll try with the 91 cleaning stone. Looks a little bit better, but yeah. But you do, it seems like you do need to clean this stone, but still it seems fairly hard, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. So, lastly, we're going for the 12,000, which is an absurdly fine stone to work on when we're doing kitchen knives. Wouldn't be a problem with razors, but hey, I couldn't find the 8,000 or the 9,000 from my supplier, so I just went for it. I see already that we do have some saw marks on the stone, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to go with the vitrified cleaning stone from Suhiro, just very gently. Try even out those marks just a little bit. It's just it does seem like a pretty soft stone as well, just from working with it like this. But I think that's going to be just fine. That's a lot better. So, usually at this stage I would just, do full strokes, but I want to work a little bit on the stone, just to get a feel for it. So I'm just going to do a few passes, and we managed to remove the saw marks pretty well, it seems. A few spots where I missed it, I see. Do a couple of passes here as well. And that's a beautiful finish. Yeah. So I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. Doesn't seem to load up as much as the other stone, 6000 grit one. Like so. I think I'm going to stop there. We're not looking to remove a lot of material here. We're just wanting to, we just want to polish what we already have. You can see here. I don't know if you can hear them, but I'm sorry if you do. They're having some fun in the living room. Feels very fine. We don't have too much of a burr now. Just a teeny tiny bit. So I'm going to do one last try of removing the burr with some edge leading strokes. Like so. Got a little bit of work left. On the tip there. That is good. That is actually quite nice. Yeah, just a little bit here. Just like so. So I want to see, well, no, it doesn't seem to load up that much. It's just steel on the surface. I want to remove this a little bit here as well, just very carefully. Just those saw marks. And I'll try with the... I tend to like this one a little bit more than the other one, just because I like the size of it, and it does a great job of cleaning the stone without being too aggressive. So yeah, the 12,000 grit Morihei is great. It's soft, it's very fine. But we will see what kind of edge we get. We'll go in for the final cut test now. And just a little bit. And yeah. Oh yeah. That is a clean edge. Straight off the stone. Oh, not too bad. It's a good edge. So yeah, don't want to get too carried away. I'll actually go for some stropping as well. And you can argue amongst yourself if it's worth, you know, paying top dollars for the 12,000 grit when you could have stopped on the 6,000 grit easily with a great edge. But don't let anyone else tell you how to spend your money. If you want to go for it, just go for it, but I don't think you have to unless you really want to. 6,000 should be more than enough. But yeah, this one is sharp. So yeah, final thoughts on the Morihei Stones. I love them. I can hardly fault them. The 500 grit is fairly hard. At least that's how I see it. But still responsive, gives good feedback. There's no doubt what you're working with when you're working on it. So very comfortable stone to work on. At least I think so. The same goes for the 1000 grit stone. It is a little bit softer. Just, well, we're talking about first impressions here. Anyway, so it feels a little bit softer. But I like soft stones. I don't know what I can compare it with, but at least not on the top of my head. But still a very responsive, very good stone. Today it felt a little bit more. It felt like I got a little bit more friction on the 1000 grit than the 500 grit, but that can be because I haven't broken the stone in yet. But yeah, you wouldn't need to go on the 500 grit stone if you hadn't got a chipped edge or something. Just for regular maintenance, the 1000 grit should be plenty. When we look at the polishing stones, The 600 grit. I'm sorry. The 600 grit. It's they're getting softer, but has a great silky feel to it. It feels really smooth, and that really goes for the 12,000 grit as well. Yeah. So great stones. If you can get them, if you can afford them, they are excellent. I'll look into what I can compare them with. Maybe I'll throw down some videos where I compare them to other stones that I have, but yeah, I can hardly fault them as they are. So they will definitely go into my rotation, and I'll start using them to prepare the knives. Well, some of the knives I get in that I sell comes, you know, 90% there, and I usually take them all the way on stones before I sell them. So these guys I'm gonna use like that for that, and they're gonna see a lot of use in the coming month, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video after I've gotten some more time on them. But as for now, I really think I need to go and put my kid to bed. He's knocking on the door here now, so I hope it isn't too much. But I'll see you guys in another video. If you're still here, that's great. Please leave a like and subscribe, and yeah, comment all you like. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.